Hey, what's up, fellow gamers? It's Nightwing here, bringing you yet another review. The Wii Live Game Reviewer is bringing you... Thanks very much, Mario. Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube that came out in 2002. Let's hop into the story of this game, shall we? Well, the theme of this game is Mario and company are on vacation. They get this invitation from this island called Isle Delfino. And while watching this promo video, Peach sees what looks like Mario in the background. Then Peach thinks to herself, that can't be because Mario's sitting right next to me. Anyway, the plane lands only to find out that the airfield and this whole island has been polluted. Peach hallucinates and sees this Shadow Mario again, and Mario goes and talks to the inhabitants, and they tell him, okay, basically you need to clean this place up. So they give him this device called Flood. Mario goes, cleans up the island, gets thrown in jail anyway, and they basically tell him, okay, you cannot leave this island until you clean this entire island. And that's a pretty big thing right there. Anyway, Peach sees Shadow Mario again, sometime during the time that Mario's cleaning the place, and she gets kidnapped by Shadow Mario. So the whole theme of the game is to rescue the princess. Concept for this game. Well, much like Mario 64, you have a set place to explore. And of course it's in full 3D roaming, stuff like that, so you don't need to worry about that. But instead of Peach's castle this time, you have an entire island to explore, which is a very cool concept. Island Delfino is huge, and it's a lot of fun to explore. In fact, it's one of the funnest aspects about Mario Sunshine, which I'll get into a little bit later. I mainly like to climb the rooftops and pretend I'm like a Mario Batman or something like that. Anyway, there are 8 portals that lead to the 8 worlds that are all themed after vacation in this place. You have a hotel, like beach resort area that Mario can explore where he runs into all kinds of things and has certain tasks. You have like this whole valley, like with this windmill and everything like that, so that's really cool. Each world is unique and different than one another, and they also, as I said before, are set to kind of this vacation theme. So they're not something that you would usually see in a Mario game, but they are very cool amongst themselves. There were a lot of levels that I actually liked about this game, but this game does fall short in a lot of areas that I'll get into a little bit later. Much like Mario 64, the whole premise is to collect stars, but in this game they're called shine. Controls for this game. You're going to find that most of the control aspect of Mario 64 is alive and well in Sunshine. The camera, for instance, is still controlled using the C buttons, although if you have a GameCube, you know it's not a C button, it's the C stick. In order to position the camera behind you, you use the Y button instead of the R button from Mario 64. In order to use Flood, all you do is you hit the R button, and to cycle through the different uses of Flood, you just hit the X button. And you're going to find that also the triple jump is back as well, as is Mario's side jump and his butt stomp and all stuff like that. The only new move that I can really think of that Mario has in this game is he has the spin move, which is how that's done is you spin the controller stick like around in a circle and you hit the A button. You can also incorporate this with the R button before you jump off the ground to kind of spray Flood around. Now, Flood has different uses as well. He has a hover, and you jump in the air, and you hit the A button, and then just hold the R button, he can hover. He also has 3 nozzles he can choose from: the hover, the turbo, and the rocket. In order to use the turbo, all you do is you just hold the R button in, and just move Mario where you want. You can jump with him. The cool thing about this is you can actually go in the water, and it makes Mario swim faster, like kind of like a jet-propelled boat or something like that. One of my favorite power-ups has to be the rocket one. I think it's the coolest new one. It shoots Mario high up into the air. All you do is you hold the R button in, and you can get to obstacles that you couldn't reach before. And it's just really cool to see Mario get propelled up into space like that. It's, again, one of my favorites. I use it a lot more than just Mario's traditional jumps and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun to explore the vast regions designed for this game. You're going to find a lot of similarities between Mario 64 and Sunshine. A lot of the level design is very reminiscent to that. It's just not as good. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a game that is expertly designed. It's very beautiful to look at. It's a lot of fun to play. but it is not in any way, shape, or form a successor to Mario 64. The bosses are very, very cool, and the levels are vast and huge and way, way bigger than Mario 64. One level in particular is the underwater city. It is very, very cool to explore. There's so much detail. You can see like so many cool water effects. You can see fish design. It's just a lot of fun to play, and I like looking at it a lot. It was a very beautiful level. The casino level is very reminiscent to the Oogie Boogie in Nightmare Before Christmas, which that's probably where they got this from, but it's still a very well-designed level. The water effects are very cool. You can see even some early Galaxy concepts with some of these different mini-games and stuff like that. This game is a very fun game to play, and it's a very cool game to look at. History for this game. This Mario game introduces two new villains, Shadow Mario, very reminiscent to Shadow Link, and of course, Baby Bowser, which this was his first game, the son of King Koopa. Think like Koopalings from Super Mario Bros. 3. Unfortunately, this is the worst-selling platform Mario game ever, with only 5 million sold. Bad part about this game. I absolutely hated, with the utmost passion for living, the watermelon stage, where the whole point of this level is to get these watermelons past these things that shoot you up in the air, and just about anything can kill your watermelon, which is very, very, very annoying, and it was very badly done. In fact, this level is part of the reason why this game got such an interesting score at the end. But what's even funny, to add insult to injury, Nintendo has added that the watermelon that you have to use is at the very, very top of the hill. So the whole point of this is to get the watermelon down there in order to get the star. Unfortunately, I don't think I ever got the star, just because I couldn't do it. Another thing I hated about this game was the camera and the boat in the lava level. Just terrible. Alright, let's move to the good parts about this game, shall we? As I said before, this island is very, very huge, with 8 worlds for you to explore, and they're all after a vacation theme, which is very, very cool. What I did love about this game is the fact that they added some puzzle elements. Instead of it just being like a regular Mario platformer, they incorporated kind of like Legend of Zelda puzzle elements, which made the game seem fresh and different than the other Mario platforms. Not to mention, the different missions in this game, they're all different, and they're a lot of fun to play. There are also some fun mini-games that will keep you replaying the game, but it's just not strong enough to be better than Super Mario 64. It didn't bring back all the elements that made 64 such great. It brought back some of them, but the camera control is way too clunky, and it's a shame. One of my other favorite levels is the Mecha Bowser roller coaster. It was a very, very cool level to play, and I got nauseous a lot. I was also happy to see that Nintendo finally reunited Mario with the Yoshi after so many years. It just brought a nice, nostalgic breath of fresh air back to the Mario series. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't enough to save this game. It gets a 7 out of 10. It's a decent game. Look forward to my Galaxy review, which will be much, much better. Again, thanks for watching. Check out Wii Live. God bless, people.
Don't touch that remote.
Now that you have learned what you have learned,